All right. What's going on, everyone? Happy Friday to you. All right. So, lots and lots and lots of information to talk about. Besides the federal government getting ready to go back into, they call it Jackson Hole. In case you don't know, Jackson Hole, Wyoming is a place where the federal government and all really top dogs and top brass go to meet at to decide how they're going to well, I'm gonna be nice. How they can structure and figure out how to keep the planet and the financial world together. I'll give you a little backstory on Jackson, Wyoming. There was one particular. I want to say there was a sitting congressman that was over a financial committee that they really wanted to attend these meetings with the federal government and all these other top ranking officials and players in the world. And the times of year that they actually met happened to be the times of year that this particular congressman would be out fishing. He loved fishing. His big thing was fishing. Well, one of the guys said, "Hey, I know a way that we can get him to come out. Let's hold the meetings in Jackson Hole, Wyoming." Jackson Hole, Wyoming is known to have some of the most elite fishing spots anywhere on the planet. And so they changed the Jackson Hole, Wyoming, in order to get this congressman there, and the rest is history. Now, I don't know how much of there is truth to that. That was a story I had read a couple years ago, and I thought it was a pretty interesting one. I'm gonna have to look a little bit deeper into it. So we also talking about housing market recessions, and we're talking about inventory, homes staying on the market longer, inflation. There's just a lot going on, and let's be very honest. If you have a heartbeat and you're working, then all of this is very much relevant to you and your lifestyle. Now, if you're laying on somebody else's couch and you're watching me do this video, then obviously this does not apply to you because you are not a part of the economy. You are a taker. Anyway, so enough taking jabs at people. I was listening to I listen to a lot of financial news. A lot of it is just for entertainment. There's little bits and pieces where I'll get some viable information out of it. But for the most part, it is very entertaining. And I'm gonna queue up this actual uh video that I was watching this morning, and I had to rewind it about 4 times. And then finally I got my wife in the car and I asked my wife to take a look at it. And we were both pretty confused. So as you can tell, this is a news station. It's actually ABC. This is somebody who is reporting on it. And as the screen shows, it's a median home price. I'm getting ready to roll the video in a second. And it's saying the median home price is up 10.8% at $403,000. Now, on the surface, that all looks good. But they have one very catching, and we call those clickbait. We have some clickbait up there, which says housing recession. So I'm going to go ahead and I've already queued this up to exactly the point because the whole video is about maybe 2 minutes long, but I have it queued up right at about the 44 second mark. And I want you to just kind of take a look at this. And then we're going to have a quick discussion about what it is that we are, looking at. And
July was $403,000, up 10.8% from a year ago. So when you factor it all together, home affordability is at its worst level since 1989. People buying today are typically having to shell out about 25% of their income towards their mortgage. That's up from 15% pre-pandemic. And it's led the National Association of Realtors to declare that we are in a housing recession. Now, builders, they're not building new homes. Buyers can't find them. The good news, if you already own a home and bought it during the pandemic, is that the value of that house is likely still way up You locked in the lowest rate mortgage that we will probably see for a very long time. And the bottom line for prospective home buyers and sellers is that we're not in the seller's market we were in less than a year ago. For sellers, if you want, fix up that home to make it as low risk for buyers as possible. As for buyers, take your time, negotiate, and stay away from bidding wars.
All right, guys. So we just had literally a mouthful. And now, had I not been aware of the global economy, had I not been involved in real estate, had I not had some of the knowledge that I have just from the people that I'm connected to, it is very hard to decipher on whether or not um, what we're looking at is good or bad news. You know, in that very same breath, the person went from saying, "What a wonderful situation you're in as a seller because you have tons of equity in your home," but then go to slide on the other end and say, well, look at you have the lowest interest rate on your home possible. In which case, she just basically said you have absolutely no way of unlocking that money or that equity that's in your property without jeopardizing losing your interest rates, which would have a buyer or a seller on the fence about whether or not should they sell their home. Should they liquidate their asset or should they liquidate their liability to turn it into a cold asset? And it's information just like that that is creating such a huge issue for buyers and sellers to make a decision right now, which starts playing a little bit into why we're in the conditions that we're currently in and why we were in a condition that we were in, you know, not even a year ago when there were bidding wars and when there were prices that were going through the roof. I mean, I'm looking at real estate on a regular basis as I'm pulling it up and as I'm taking a look at it. I am literally seeing properties that were just bought last year for $320,000 being sold right now or on the market right now for $750,000. Guys, that's not normal market movement. That's not normal home appreciation. You know, I mean, given that we've normally seen historically, even over the past 5 decades, maybe 6, 7, 8% in property value increase, which is very good. It's very good. It's better than being a renter. I mean, you're not going to find anywhere historically where you've had a better return on your investment. But come on, we're talking about people trying to sell it for over 7,500 percentage more than what they bought it for. And that's just not realistic. That's not sustainable. But back to the actual video, the reason why it's so hard for me to watch that video is because I am actually out here buying and selling and working with clients on a regular basis, dealing with real estate matters. And that is not what is happening. And that is very misleading to say that we're probably not. And I don't think I got the last clip of that in there, but they also said we probably won't see interest rates like that for a very long time, meaning what we were seeing previous to COVID or previous to this bidding war or previous to when the federal government started doing the interest rate hikes. And I would say that that's not true either, because right now our interest rates are right at where they were pre-pandemic. So to say that we're not going to see anything, one, is very misleading, and two, the conversation to somebody who is not informed would just leave them absolutely speechless and really kind of confused and trying to figure out, you know, what exactly is it that I should be doing, or what exactly is it that I can do, and in which case I would say what you can do is make a decision about what's going to benefit you and your family, what's going to put you guys in the best possible position to win, what is going to give you an advantage in terms of making sure that you can win and that you can actually become very prosperous right now. Because I'll tell you this, there's a lot of people who are very financially savvy and very financially well off, and they're not taking a day off from either buying something or selling something. The only difference between successful people and non-successful people is successful people don't take a day off. They don't see it as good or bad. They see it as, what is my opportunity right now? And right now, it is an opportunity for both buyers and sellers. It is an opportunity for buyers to negotiate great deals because sellers are no longer able to sell at those outrageous prices. So they're going to have to eat some of that. But again, it's still a great time for a seller if you're trying to get, $100,000 or, $150,000, because there was a point where, they were taking, a half a mil, a quarter million. So maybe those days aren't here, but this opportunity is still there. So when you listen to something like that article, and I just couldn't help but share it, it just came out this morning. It leads me to believe that that's the reason why people are having such a hard time making a decision about what it is that they should do. So I'm hoping that we shed a little bit of light on that. Listen, if you want real advice, connect with somebody who's really in that space, really in that field. If you really want to, the news has a job to do, and their job is specifically to keep your butt in the seats, keep tuning in, so that they can get their ratings up, and therefore they can get the people who they charge big amounts of money to get their advertisement rolling at that specific time to pay. So it's no more than just a dog and pony show. If you want the real deal, real information, all you got to do is just connect with a real estate professional, and a good one will put you in the right position to win no matter what the market looks like. Right now, I'm telling my buyers, let's negotiate the strongest, best deal. Let's not commit to anything that doesn't sound right, look right. Telling my sellers, hey, shine that house up, get it looking right. Let's price it correctly. Let's get it sold. That's all. That's all there is to it. There's no more, no less. It doesn't matter what else everybody else is saying, because all they're saying is going to do is just keep you still and not moving. All right. Anyways, you guys have a wonderful day. Thanks for tuning in, and talk to you soon. Adios.